The old man sat on the corner clutching a worn, leather-bound book. His eyes, though weary, held a spark of something profound, something that seemed to transcend the chaos around him. The book, with its frayed edges and weathered cover, appeared to be a relic from another time, a silent witness to countless stories and secrets. His clothes hung loosely, a testament to his meager existence. Each threadbare garment told a tale of hardship and survival, of days spent battling the elements and nights seeking refuge from the cold. Yet, despite his outward appearance, there was an air of dignity about him, a quiet strength that defied his circumstances. Passers-by hurried along, their faces a blur of indifference. The city's relentless pace left little room for compassion, and the old man was just another figure in the periphery, easily overlooked and forgotten. The crowd moved like a river, each person caught in their own current, too preoccupied to notice the solitary figure on the corner. He raised his voice, a raspy whisper against the roar of the city. Love, truth, forgiveness. His words, though barely audible, carried a weight that seemed to cut through the noise. They were not just words, but echoes of a deeper truth, a call to remember the things that truly matter. Words tumbled out, pearls of wisdom scattered on the unforgiving pavement. Each phrase was a gem, a piece of timeless wisdom that sparkled briefly before being swallowed by the city's indifference. It was as if he was casting treasures into the wind, hoping that someone, anyone, would stop and listen. No one stopped, no one looked. The world around him was too busy, too consumed with its own concerns to pay heed to the quiet revelations of an old man. It was a stark reminder of how easily we overlook the profound in our pursuit of the mundane. The city, it seemed, had no time for whispers on the wind. The ceaseless march of progress left little room for reflection, and the old man's voice was just another sound lost in the cacophony. Yet the whispers persisted, carried on the breeze, a gentle reminder of the things we often forget. His words, though unheard by the bustling masses, held a certain weight. There was a determination in his eyes, a resolve to keep speaking, even if no one was listening. It was as if he knew that his message, though ignored by many, would find its way to those who needed it most. They spoke of universal truths, of compassion and understanding. These were not just abstract concepts, but the very essence of what it means to be human. The old man's words were a call to remember our shared humanity, to look beyond the surface and see the common threads that bind us all. Was it possible, just possible, that these pronouncements, dismissed as the ramblings of a madman, were something more? Could it be that in his seemingly incoherent mutterings, there was a deeper wisdom, a truth that we were too blind to see? The thought lingered, a seed of doubt that began to take root in the minds of those who heard him. Could this be the voice of something greater, something divine trying to break through the noise? The idea was both unsettling and comforting, a reminder that there is more to life than what we see on the surface. Perhaps in the whispers of an old man, we could find the answers we seek, if only we took the time to listen. The very idea seemed preposterous. How could such a grand and omnipotent being, if it existed at all, choose to walk among us in such an unassuming manner? The notion defied logic and challenged the very essence of what we believed divinity to be. Yet, it was this very absurdity that made the idea so compelling, so tantalizingly possible. God, if such a being existed, wouldn't choose to walk among us in such a humble guise, would he? The thought seemed almost blasphemous. We imagine gods in grand temples, surrounded by opulence and reverence, not blending into the anonymity of a bustling street. But what if this was precisely the point? What if the divine chose humility over grandeur, simplicity over complexity, to teach us a lesson we so desperately needed to learn? And yet the thought lingered, fueled by the man's unwavering conviction and the profound simplicity of his message. His words were not adorned with the trappings of eloquence or the weight of authority, but they resonated with a truth that was hard to ignore. It was as if he spoke directly to the soul, bypassing the intellect and touching something deeper, something more primal. Perhaps divinity didn't manifest in thunderbolts and parting seas, but in the quiet acts of love, the whispers of truth spoken in the face of indifference. Maybe it was in the small, everyday miracles that we often overlooked. The smile of a stranger, the helping hand extended in a moment of need, the courage to speak the truth when it was easier to stay silent. These were the true signs of the divine, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by those who had the eyes to see and the heart to understand. The possibility, however improbable, was intriguing. It opened up a new way of seeing the world, a new way of understanding our place in it. If the divine could walk among us, disguised as one of us, then perhaps we were not as alone as we thought. Perhaps in our moments of deepest despair and greatest joy, we were being watched over, guided, and loved by a presence far greater than ourselves. Imagine a God who chose not to overpower with might, but to reach out with gentle persuasion, to nudge humanity towards its better nature. This was a God who understood the frailty of the human condition, who knew that true change could not be imposed from without, but had to come from within. This was a God who believed in the power of love, compassion, and understanding, and who worked tirelessly to cultivate these qualities in the hearts of men and women. This divine being wouldn't announce their presence with fanfare, but would walk amongst us, cloaked in the frailty of human form, a silent observer, a patient gardener tending to the seeds of our souls. They would be there in the background, watching, waiting, and nurturing, always ready to step in when needed, but never imposing, never forcing. This was a God who respected our free will, who understood that true love could only be given freely, not demanded or coerced. In moments of quiet reflection, when we are alone with our thoughts, we might catch a glimpse of this divine presence. It could be in the rustling of leaves, the gentle caress of a breeze, or the serene beauty of a sunset. These were the moments when the veil between the mundane and the divine seemed to thin, and we could feel the touch of something greater, something beyond our understanding, but deeply comforting nonetheless. And in the acts of selflessness, in the coming together of communities to support one another, we could see the hand of the divine at work. It was in these moments of unity and compassion that the true nature of divinity was revealed, not as a distant, unapproachable force, but as a loving presence that was intimately involved in the fabric of our lives. So the next time you look up at the sky and wonder if there is something more, something beyond the stars, remember that the divine might be closer than you think. It might be walking beside you, sharing in your joys and sorrows, guiding you with a gentle hand and a loving heart. The disguise of humanity is not a mask to hide behind, but a testament to the profound connection between the divine and the human, a reminder that we are never truly alone. History is replete with tales of prophets and visionaries, individuals who claim to speak with the divine. These figures, often shrouded in mystery and mysticism, have left an indelible mark on the annals of time. Their words, actions, and the very essence of their being have been subjects of both reverence and skepticism. From the ancient deserts where prophets roamed, to the bustling cities where visionaries preached, their presence has always been a beacon of hope and a source of controversy. Many were dismissed, ridiculed, even persecuted for their beliefs. The skepticism of the masses often overshadowed the profound messages these individuals sought to convey. In a world where conformity was the norm, those who dared to challenge the status quo were met with resistance. Their revolutionary ideas, which were ahead of their time, were often seen as threats to the established order. The crowd's skeptical expressions were not just a reflection of doubt, but also of fear of the unknown, fear of change. Socrates, condemned for corrupting the youth of Athens, his method of questioning, of seeking deeper truths, was seen as a danger to the traditional values of the society. Yet his teachings laid the foundation for Western philosophy. In the dimly lit rooms of ancient Greece, his students pondered the profound questions of existence, morality, and knowledge. Socrates' legacy, though marred by his tragic end, continues to inspire thinkers and philosophers to this day. Jesus, crucified for challenging the established order. His message of love, compassion, and forgiveness was revolutionary in a time of strict religious dogma and societal hierarchies. The barren hill, a symbol of his ultimate sacrifice, stands as a testament to his unwavering faith and commitment to his beliefs. The dramatic reenactment of his trial scene captures the tension and the gravity of the moment, a moment that would change the course of history forever. Joan of Arc burned at the stake for her unwavering faith. A young woman who claimed to have divine visions, she led armies and inspired a nation. Her courage and conviction, in the face of overwhelming odds, made her a martyr and a symbol of resistance. The flames that consumed her body could not extinguish the fire of her spirit. Her story, one of bravery and sacrifice, continues to resonate through the ages, reminding us of the power of faith and the cost of standing up for one's beliefs. All deemed mad by their contemporaries, yet their words continue to resonate centuries later. The ancient scrolls, filled with mysterious writings, hold the secrets of their wisdom. People with intrigued expressions delve into these manuscripts, seeking to understand the profound truths hidden within. These texts, though old and worn, are timeless in their relevance. They speak of a time when the line between madness and genius was thin, and when the words of a few could change the destiny of many. Could it be that history was repeating itself? The time-lapse of changing landscapes, a visual representation of the cyclical nature of history, suggests that the struggles and triumphs of the past are not confined to the annals of time. They echo in the present, reminding us of the lessons learned and the mistakes repeated. The montage of historical events, repeating in a seemingly endless loop, challenges us to reflect on our actions and their consequences. Was the disheveled man on the street corner another in a long line of misunderstood messengers? His appearance, though unkempt, did not diminish the power of his words. The sign he held, with its profound message, was a call to action, a plea for understanding. The small crowd, though skeptical, could not ignore the passion in his voice. Was he, like the prophets of old, a voice crying out in the wilderness, seeking to awaken the conscience of society? Were we blinded by our own prejudices and preconceptions, failing to recognize the divine in our midst? The people, from diverse backgrounds, looked at the common object with confusion, unable to see its true significance. The symbolic figure, overlooked by individuals in modern attire, stood as a reminder of our tendency to judge by appearances. In our quest for progress and modernity, have we lost the ability to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, the divine in the mundane? The question hung heavy, a stark reminder of our capacity for both profound insight and devastating ignorance. The heavy clouds moving slowly across the sky mirrored the weight of this question. The contrast between light and shadow in the thought-provoking setting symbolized the duality of human nature. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, we are constantly faced with choices that reflect our deepest values and beliefs. Will we choose to see the light, to seek understanding and compassion, or will we remain in the shadows of ignorance and prejudice? The echoes of the past, ever present, challenge us to look within and find the answers.